Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Athletic Definition. Uh, this is the Mary Fitness special edition of part three, or actually day three out of 31. I'm doing the show every day. Some will have guests, and some will just have very cool Christmas attire. Let me see if I could turn the camera around for those of you watching this live on stream or on Fireside. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. And so this is my vest right here. Check it out. And then I got the little gingerbread man. It says "Bite Me." And since I am rocking the gingerbread man, I wanted to kind of just touch on how tough it is for gingerbread men out there right now. Uh, like personally, I know one of them. He trains with me, and and right now he's a little depressed because he hurt his leg. And I told him, "Have you tried icing it?" And I forgot I had sound effects ready. Here we go. All right, yeah. And then uh, the same gingerbread man. He went looking for a job right now because he's got other gingerbread kids and a gingerbread wife, and he needs to buy them all gifts. And he's been looking for a job, and even though they say right now you could find a job easily, apparently not. He says he's saying all the right things, telling the interviewer that he feels he's cut out for the job, and they still turn him down. Oh, wrong sound effect. All right. Um, and the reason I named this show "Don't Be the Charliest Brownest" is because I love that movie. It's a really great movie, and besides it being a great movie, it's not like a long commitment. 30 minutes basically. Right now, I have it on Apple TV, and so I think I watched it like maybe for 2 hours yesterday while I'm doing things around the house, cleaning up. I love the music, but just the soundtrack, and then the whole story. It's kind of funny how a lot of it you could relate to how it is now, and the things that they saw even back then, like how Christmas is being very commercialized, and also how I think it was Lucy. She wanted real estate. Who doesn't want real estate? We all want real estate, whether it's here or in the metaverse. And you know, uh, during this time of year, unless you're clinically depressed, and if you are, then I highly recommend getting professional help. But a lot of people get the blues, like Charlie Brown does in that movie, and some of it, me looking at it as a coach, uh, is a lot of it is just kind of negative thinking that Charlie Brown had, and what he was focusing on. He mentions things in the movie that he loves Christmas and that he likes getting gifts, and he mentioned a couple of things he liked, but he kind of just goes over them really quickly, and instead he focuses on negative thinking, like I think there's something wrong with me. Uh, I always get up feeling depressed, and saying things like that to yourself. Getting a little woo woo or whatever you want to call it is. You really want to be mindful of that and how you talk to yourself. Um, Also, he would say things like I said. I watched it so many times. He would say things like, "I know nobody likes me, and why do we have to have a holiday just to just to emphasize that no one likes me?" And Charlie Brown really has no way of knowing that no one likes him. It's just his negative thinking. And since I love working out, I wanted to relate it to working out. And me personally, I know people out there could relate. Maybe you started a new workout plan with a maybe new coach or new trainer or a new diet, or you know, and you're trying something new, and you may be like Charlie Brown. I just don't understand Christmas, and you're like, I just don't understand why I'm doing this. And you just have to have faith and trust the process that you know you watching what you eat, cutting out the soda, the beer, the bread, going for a walk is going to get you the results. It's all going to be how much you put into it. And you know, that's why I was mentioning Charlie Brown. That the Christmas movie is just such a great Christmas album, and also just there's a lot of things you could just get from the whole movie. Uh, I wanted to mention that his sister, I can't remember her name, but she also kind of had like a at times an attitude of like, I just want what's coming to me. I just want what I deserve. And that was when she was writing her letter to Santa and telling Charlie Brown. Well, she couldn't write, so she asked Charlie Brown to write it. And you know, right now, I know it's tough for a lot of people, but no one, no one is really like deserves anything. You gotta earn it. If you want that summer body, you got to start now. If you want to get in better shape for 2022, why wait to the New Year's resolutions to start off? You could start making little different changes right now. And even though it's the holidays and it's tough, I you know I highly recommend it. And then also too, it's like don't have that Charlie Brownist attitude where everything's negative. Uh, One of the reasons why I'm dressed like this, so like a candy cane blew up with a Christmas tree, is because you make your day what you want it to be. If I want to try and bring the Christmas spirit to people now, I don't need other people. Or if I walk into a store now, people talk to me like differently than if I normally just wear my blue jeans and this is a conversation starter. People kind of feel the little Christmas spirit, and you don't have to wait till you know the advertisement tells you, oh, it's 2 weeks before Christmas. Start being nice to people, or or wait till the New Year's to start making your resolutions if you believe in making resolutions. And before I go on, I just wanted to. I'm getting an alert right now, and I'm sorry to report that it looks like the gingerbread man just got robbed. I guess whoever robbed him thought he had a lot of dough. No, no one got that. Where's my sound effect guy? Oh, that's right. I am the sound effect guy. Let's see here. How late can I play the sound effect here? Yeah, it's pretty delayed. I know I could use emojis too. And for those that are kind of listening in that are not on Fireside, we have emojis, and the emojis are very cool because basically you can touch them and they make noise. And I believe even me, that I'm a creator right now and hosting, I should be able to, let's see, set off the laugh track as well. Maybe I could use that. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. I got my built-in laughter right there. And if anybody listening in the audience would like to come up and share what you love about the holidays or what you don't, if you like Christmas music, uh, if you have Charlie Brownist moments, what do you do to get out of them? Do you do anything? Do you hang around with like maybe some negative people? Charlie Brown, that whole movie, because there's so many different characters. It's like a reflection of life. There's, you know, guys, girls. There's the dirty one, the talented one who could play the piano, a little bit of everything. I kind of made some notes along the way here. And oh yeah, uh, when it's getting towards the end, Lucy is trying to help out Charlie Brown because Charlie Brown's going to direct. So Lucy tells Snoopy, we're going to need you to be all the animals in the play. Can you play a cow? Uh, and can you play a sheep? And then how about some other animal? And you know, Snoopy's a team player. He's like, yeah, I can do it. And and instead of having such a like negative Nelly uh, thought frame that's easy to do, especially right now during the holidays, is like, tell yourself I'm gonna go out and spread cheer and be merry, uh, and just kind of like, hey, can you wake up with a good attitude? I know it was a rough day. Can you, you know, instead of making excuses, work out. There's a old Nike commercial that It's one of my favorites, and I was gonna try and have it ready and pin it on the fortune cookie, but I'm sure you could just uh, YouTube it. It's a guy, and he's like saying it's too cold, it's too warm, it's too hot, it's raining, it's this, it's that. My legs hurt, and then at the end of the commercial, they zoom out, and you realize he's in a wheelchair and he's playing basketball, and he's basically the classic Nike, just do it. Like, what's your excuse? Like, you're saying all this, but he's out there dribbling, playing, shooting basketball. And don't let the Charliest Brownest bring you down this holiday season. Uh, you know, don't let don't let like the commercialism, like he said, get to you. You make it what you want to make it. Uh, I learned a long time ago that it's not about the gifts at all. I think especially more after COVID or during COVID, not being able to be around family like it typically was is I got an even bigger appreciation for family and friends and all those like things that I could honestly say now pre-COVID I took for granted. I didn't really like, just thinking every year it's going to be the same thing, and then it's all upside down. But regardless of the commercialism, negative you may face in life, challenges, obstacles, uh, uh, the whole basic ending to the movie without bringing in religion is peace on earth and goodwill to all humanity, and that's pretty much what I'm spreading. So. Uh, I'm trying to mix it up with Christmas puns because I love Christmas puns, and every day that you tune in, I will be rocking a different Christmas outfit. I do. Actually have. I could do multiple changes in a day and still wear different Christmas outfits uh, from underwear, but I'll save you guys all that. I got the socks, I got beanies, I got bandanas, I got sweaters, I got suits, uh, I got vests, I got t-shirts, I got pants, I got sweatpants. Um, and if you want to see like the original concept, it came up last year, and you can go to Coach Ray Z on Instagram. And if you go to just the movies, they're all in order. I put Merry Fitness uh, tip ideas, and basically you can go there and every day I gave a tip of a workout you could do that didn't require a gym, and it could be something basic like with a jump rope or going to the park, and that one was more editing, and I started getting better at the end because if you watch it like from beginning to end, you'll see it was all dark. I didn't have the proper lighting. Right now, I'm messing with lighting. I have a red one here to my right, trying to give like a Christmassy feel, and I have a green one here, which to me it's more obvious. This red doesn't look too red for those of you watching. Um, but yeah, you can just go to Coach Ray Z on Instagram. I always forget to put it up on the fortune cookie. It's such a cool feature for those who are just haven't been on Fireside. Fireside has basically a link. Well, it's not a link. You can make it into a link. You can put any information you want or your favorite quote, and it's going through the whole time. And as you're doing like a different, say, talking about different subjects, you can put different links so that your audience can go on there. And I need to start taking advantage of that more. It's a really cool feature. And uh, let's see here. On tomorrow, still working on a guest. As I mentioned before, I'm doing 31 shows straight for Christmas, just trying to bring some joy. I know there's a lot of people that don't have or aren't fortunate, and maybe if some Christmas puns will brighten up your day, I hope that helps. On Sunday, I do have Francisco from Portugal. He'll be on as my guest. He's a good guy, just same thing like me, trying to spread the the message of activity, and his whole thing is just kind of enjoy the journey. So many people are just rushing; they just want that instant gratification, and they're just not taking the time to, you know, uh, as I mentioned in yesterday's show, as Kobe Bryant said, the waking up early, uh, the staying up late, the grinding, that is the dream. It wasn't the championships for them. It was putting in that work. It's a certain type of mentality, and uh, we can all strive to kind of have that. So, and thank you, everybody. As I mentioned, everybody listening in and in the audience. If there isn't anybody who would like to come up and mention if they like the holidays, if they don't like the holidays, uh, if so, why? Um, Christmas music as well. Do you find it difficult to work out during the holidays? A lot of people find it difficult. My best advice that I've been giving out is find something that's coming up for the new year, 2022, some sort of like event. And it could be something as fun as, I don't know if you guys heard of like bubble runs or like paint runs. They're just really for you to kind of like, if you're like coming off the couch and just something kind of like to get into the excitement of it's fun to be active. Maybe just start off with something like that, um, something that you can wake up every morning and look forward to doing. Like, oh, today I got to walk or run or whatever it may be, just to kind of start getting in shape. Um, Due to COVID, LA Marathon was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And so I just finished my 15th consecutive LA Marathon and my 55th total marathon. And normally you have time before, but typically before COVID, LA Marathon is always the first weekend of March. I think week, this month, this coming up year might be like the second week or third week. Uh, but regardless, it basically is giving me 90 days to start working out, start thinking about how I'm gonna stay away from so many tamales during tamale season. Uh, how I'm gonna how I'm gonna regulate, uh, keep self control of how much alcohol drink during the holiday season, whether it's at work Christmas parties. If uh, I'm blessed that the podcast gets replays, and so far I've reached 30 states. So I guess it all depends on what state you live in. If you guys are having Christmas parties or not, and all that. But there's always more cookies, more cakes, more celebrations, more potlucks, more Christmas parties. Everybody brings donuts. These are just all things to be aware of. I'm not saying don't enjoy your life or anything like that, but you get all these holiday coffees as well that have extra sugar, and all the packaging is even some of it doesn't have extra sugar, but the packaging's all like set up for Christmas just to entice you to kind of feel festive a little bit. But yeah, a lot of things have extra calories, so that's what I find helpful. It it's today I didn't feel like working out. I know people think, oh, you must feel like working out every single day. No, I didn't feel like working out. I did my workout. I'm glad I did it. Um, and for me, I started on the 1st of December. I took a little time off. I feel that it was well deserved, and David Goggins would be ashamed for me saying that. I'm a huge fan of David Goggins. He doesn't believe in time off, but uh, I was really training hard for running Lake Tahoe Triple Marathon, which is 3 marathons in 3 days. You run around Lake Tahoe, and that was supposed to be in early October, and so I was training extra hard for that. So I feel I kind of burned myself out a little bit because right after that was going to be LA Marathon, and so I took a little time off. I didn't run. I did work a lot of my mobility. I feel mobility is very important. I mean, how fit can you be if you can't touch your toes? Um, how strong can you be if you can't touch your toes? That's something that I couldn't do for years. And I believe I use a system called, among others, but I would say primarily it's called ATG. And it's the knees over toes system. Uh, you can look him up. He's probably got like 1 million followers by now. Very informative, gives out a lot of free information. Um, I've brought on a few. I think I brought on Luke, who does like basketball skills. He can do um, like cool basketball tricks on like I forget what they're called. They're kind of like a trampoline, but not a trampoline. It's like a little string, and They can walk on those, and then at the same time, he's spinning basketballs and throwing them. When I had him on, we didn't have video here on Fireside, so now I sent him a message, definitely inviting back all the prior guests that didn't get the video experience that I've had on here. This today is my 43rd uh, athletic definition show, and right here on Fireside. So I would say maybe the first eight that I did not have video, and just trying to get everybody on here and working on that. So I have a past guest that maybe you actually want to see how they look, and then you'll be able to do that. You can watch it right here on Fireside. You can also watch it on Athletic Definition YouTube and on Spotify. I got early access to video, so you can actually watch Athletic Definition on Spotify, which is very cool. And then pretty much you can listen to it everywhere else. I think the longest one that took me to get approved, and I just got approved today, is Pandora. And for how long they took and how many times I had to write to them, I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it. You know, we'll see. I made a poll on my Instagram for Athletic Definition if people still use Pandora, and everybody has voted no so far. That was kind of one of the early apps, um, and now it's really difficult to put your material in there. I found compared people told me that it would be Apple, but I didn't find that at all. I found Pandora out of everything. I'm even on Amazon. Not a problem with anybody, but just Pandora. And I would say it took me about 7 months to get on Pandora, which I'm like, so I don't know if anyone here in the audience uses Pandora. If they do, you could, give me a thumbs up or a clap. And I don't think anybody does use Pandora. It's interesting. We'll see how much traffic they generate. And uh, as I mentioned, this is a daily show. It'll be on every day. The times will vary because I'm having guests from all over the country. Some days I won't have guests, and I will have today is every day I have a tip. So today's tip is don't be the Charliest Brownest. I kind of went over the movie and how we can all make excuses and kind of be like negative and just not be like how Charlie Brown was always like talking about, uh, you know, I'm depressed or, I like Christmas, but I'm always sad and just kind of finding a way to not enjoy it. He's hanging around with his friends and his dog, man's best friend, as he calls it. So if there's anybody who's never watched it in today's short span society, it's only 30 minutes. I think it's doable. Maybe you have to break it up if you're used to watching a lot of TikTok, but it's a really great movie. I know for my kids, I played they're probably sick of the Charlie Brown album by now. It's one of my favorites, and tomorrow we'll see. We'll see who we'll have on. I will. I haven't think, even posted the time. As I mentioned, the time will vary. Uh, I'll either have in-person guests or guests. For sure, I have some guests coming on. And yesterday I mentioned that if all goes well, I'll have my biggest, I guess, known athlete guest next week on Thursday. Still waiting to hear back confirmation. So look out for that announcement. Super excited about that, and as well as many other guests that I have coming on as well. They're from all over the world, and they're all different coaches. And right now, there's so many different coaches. There's life coaches and health coaches and fitness coaches and track coaches and you name it. And it could be kind of overwhelming, and you could be like, "Oh, it's saturated." But then you hear the other numbers of depression and suicide and obesity and more with like low self-esteem of younger children and then after the lockdown. So I say we need all you coaches, and this place right here, this show is to spotlight you. Some of these coaches that I bring on here, you know they're not getting that attention from ESPN or even the local maybe neighborhoods, but they're doing great things, or they're helping a lot of young kids changing lives, making future champions, uh, making self-confident generations to working out, and hopefully that you know I heard some sad stat where like the generation one generation is actually going to have a shorter lifespan than their parents because of all the diabetes, and that's just tragic because this is all stuff that's avoidable, preventable, by just having you know a good active lifestyle and more. I would say if you tuned in yesterday, my guest that I had, Rudy Campos, he was like 370 pounds, and he's down to like I don't know, I think two something. He's lost a lot of weight, and he hasn't worked out. It was just all through his eating, and so you can do major significant changes to your body. Uh, Me, I do recommend adding other stuff. Uh, I it could be for cosmetic or for 'cause usually when you lose a lot of weight, then you start getting flabby. If not that for the people that get all offended, if you like flabby, stay flabby. But for the people that don't like flabby, you got to do some weight training to tighten up. Um, so there's no body shaming going on. Just kind of everybody should be able to pursue their options and man, it's so that's what I do love about Fireside because sometimes I'm like, oh, I shouldn't say this or I shouldn't say that. It's always you kind of feel like in today's society you have to, you know, be on your toes and everything you say. And I'm just more verbal about it because I don't work for the corporate world anymore after 10 years. So I was set free, and since then, last year the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future came and visited me, and they told me I need to change my ways. And ever since then, I made a deal with them that every year I would show the Christmas spirit by giving fitness tips and dressing up every day and trying to earn a present. Because so far, if you go back and you see, no present. And Santa, I swear, look, this is the third show. There's been no outburst. I haven't yelled anybody. I haven't yelled at the directors, the producers, the sound engineer. I haven't had a Christian Bale outburst. So if any year I deserve a present, it's this year, Santa. So um, keep tuning in, and we'll find out if what I'm doing is enough. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until then, this has been Coach Ray Z, Athletic Definition, day 3 out of 31 Merry Fitness Ideas. Thank you all for joining. I'll see you tomorrow.